Hello guys, welcome back. In this video, you will learn how to diagnose and fix errors using Make.com's execution logs. This is the skill that turns you into an automation engineer. Let's dive in. Pros: fix errors faster. Every automation will eventually break. Beginners often struggle to find solutions, while experienced users quickly identify and resolve issues. Mastering error diagnosis is crucial for maintaining smooth, uninterrupted workflows. Understanding how to diagnose and fix errors using Make.com's execution logs transforms you from a casual user to a proficient automation engineer. This skill is essential for scaling your automation capabilities. It is one thing to know how to build workflows. It is another thing to know how to fix and handle the errors that comes your way. So mastering this skill is very important. And in this video, I'm going to guide you on how to handle errors when you come across any. There are tons of errors you can come across, but in this video, we are going to look at the basic ones and how you should always handle errors when you see them. Understanding how to read Make.com execution history will enable you to know how to handle errors and fix them. The execution history in Make.com logs every run of your scenario, whether successful or failed. This detailed record provides a chronological view of your workflow's performance, helping you pinpoint where things went wrong. Whenever you open a scenario, this is the kind of interface you are going to see, which is giving you a breakdown of how your scenario has performed over time. From this page, you can see the breakdown of your scenario usage. This is based on the last 7 days, which can be toggled to last 24 hours or last 30 days. So let's leave it at this last 7 days. Now, what are we concerned about here? We are concerned about the history. Now, the history is going to tell you how your scenario ran over time. Is it successful? Is there an error? So all these will be logged to you as seen here. So you can see this happened on this particular day and it went successful. This also happened, but there was an error. So all your history is shown here and you can use them to identify what went wrong or how your scenario ran. Accessing detailed logs. By clicking on any run in the history, you can open the full data bundle of each step. This feature allows you to inspect the exact output of each module, making it easier to identify the root cause of errors. Now, looking at this history, I can decide to click on any of these to identify what actually happened. Let's consider this error log for instance. If I click on it, it will give me a detailed view of what really happened, why the error actually occurred. Now you can see this error message here. This is where the information of the error is. Now you can see it is having a code 429. So every error has its own specific code based on the module you are using. Now for this specific error, we have the error stating that you have used all credits in your OpenAI or exceeded your monthly OpenAI budget. So this is the message based on this error. The module tried to run, but unfortunately, either the credits have been completely consumed or you have exceeded your monthly OpenAI budget. So this already gives you an idea of what the issue is. So you already know how to resolve the error. Utilizing logs for debugging. Logs are invaluable for debugging. They provide insight into the flow of data and highlight any discrepancies or issues that may have occurred during the execution of your automation. So come here again, you can see that this already gives you the overview of what you need to resolve the error. So this error log here already provides us with the information we need to resolve this issue. So this is very straightforward to resolve, and taking note of all these errors while building your automation is very important, and it gives you direct idea of what the error is and how to fix them. If you come across an error that you've not seen before or you don't know how to resolve it. Make.com has a page dedicated for different kind of errors and how you can fix them. Another way to fix error is knowing how to decode the bundle content. So let's dive in and see how this content can be seen. A bundle is the data output of a module. When an error occurs, examining the bundle reveals the exact problem. It contains all the information passed between modules, making it a crucial tool for diagnosing issues. Now, looking at this log again, if I click on this, I'm going to get this layout. This is where the bundle is. This is the input bundle. But because this module was not successful, there is no output bundle, that it is unable to output data to us. So we can only see the input bundle. So these are the information we passed into this module. But what if we want to see the output bundle? So we need to check a successful module in this case. So now let's close this and go back to the diagram. Here, if I click on this particular log, I will see its details. Now, if I click here, you are going to see the input bundle and the output bundle. So this contains the information the module returned back to us. So checking this, you are going to identify all the results that was provided. So this bundle contains all the expected outputs for this module. So understanding what is expected to be output by a specific module will enable you to actually understand if there is an error or not. Sometimes the error might not be direct. It might not give you a direct error log, but the error could be probably you not putting the right information or getting the right output. So you need to be very, very careful. And using the output bundle gives you detailed information if all the expected output are actually what you are getting back. Now let's look at some common failures and how to undo them. Missing fields. One of the most common errors is missing required fields. This can happen when data mapping is incomplete or when expected data is not provided. Always ensure that all necessary fields are correctly mapped. Sometimes when you are passing data to, let's say, another module, this module might need some specific information to run. If you are not passing this information, you are going to get error. Let's come to this diagram and try to assess this scenario. If I come to this first ChatGPT here and I scroll down to where I have topic and language, if one of these is not provided, there is going to be an error when I run this scenario, because this part is expecting you to provide a topic and a language. So if these two are not provided, this module is going to result in an error. So you need to always provide any value at every point in time. So you need to be sure. Sometimes it might not be in your module. It might be part of the data you are sending out. Maybe you are building a workflow and it requires you to send information to another API. The information you are sending, if it is not corresponding to the expected information the API is expecting, then there's going to be an error. So you need to be very, very careful when handling fields. Permission errors. Permission errors occur when your automation lacks the required access rights to perform certain action. Verify that your account has the appropriate permissions to avoid this issue. So when we are talking about permission error, it can span across multiple areas. So one area could be expired credentials. Let's say you connect your make.com account to another platform. Now, if your credential gets expired and you try to use these credentials in your make.com scenario, there's definitely going to be an error because there's already a lack of permission issue. If you don't set up the proper connections to use your Facebook account on make.com, you are going to have issues when trying to access Facebook through your make.com. Another common error is invalid API keys. Invalid API or expired API keys can cause modules to fail. Regularly check and update your API keys to ensure that your automation has the necessary permission to access external services. So sometimes your API keys might have expired or is invalid. So if you don't provide the right API key, you are going to have errors. So you need to be careful and always check and update your API keys as needed. So sometimes you might have mistakenly deleted a specific API key you were using in your scenario. So once this API key is already deleted, make.com is going to have issues identifying and working with the API key. Rate limiting. Rate limiting can halt your automation if it exceeds the allowed number of requests to an external service. Be mindful of API rate limits and design your workflow to handle them gracefully. Now, first of all, let me explain what rate limiting is. Some external services restrict you to accessing their API within a certain period of time. Some would tell you within 1 minute, you can only make 10 requests. Some will say within 1 hour, you can only make a certain number of requests. So this is called rate limit. So they are limiting your usage of the API access within this certain period of time. So you need to be very, very careful if there is any such condition for you to use a specific platform or external service in this case. So understanding the rate limit of the external service will give you idea of how to handle requests. Run once test loop. Testing with run once. The run once button allows you to test individual modules without scheduling the entire scenario. This feature is invaluable during development as it lets you focus on one step at a time and catch errors early. What are we trying to say here? When you're building your scenario, every module should be tested individually. So this lets you know if this module has an error or not. So when you add a new module, you test and see if it's giving you the desired output or not. If not, then you make corrections. Doing this will help you avoid multiple errors at the end of building your scenario. So you need to be very, very careful. And also while trying to run your modules, you don't overrun some modules that cost you, especially when you're using services that requires you to pay. So you need to be very, very careful as well. Iterative testing. Use run once to iteratively test and refine your automation. By testing each module individually, you can ensure that each step works correctly before moving on to the next, reducing the likelihood of errors in the final workflow. That explains it. Now, when you come across error, or how do you handle fixing errors? Let's look at a step-by-step procedure to doing that. The first step is to identify the issue. When a module fails, open the bundle to identify the exact problem. For example, if a Gmail module fails due to an empty toe field, inspect the bundle to see where the mapping went wrong. So this way you are going to know what is actually causing the issue. Applying the fix. Once the issue is identified, apply the necessary fix in the case of a missing field. Map the correct variable and run the module again to verify the correction. Next, you document the solution. Document each fix and add preventive measures like filters to avoid similar errors in the future. This practice ensures that your automation remains robust and reliable over time. So these are the steps you should take when identifying and fixing issues. Adopt defensive habits. To minimize errors, validate input data, use filters to prevent empty values, add fallback text for optional fields, and text thoroughly at every stage. Reading makes clear error messages can also provide valuable insight for quick resolution. The way we assess the error logs, you can see when there's an error, there's going to be a message. So reading the message will give you insight on how to resolve the error quickly. We have come to the end of this video. In the next video, we will go deeper and explore iterator, aggregator, and array handlings. These are tools that take your automation to a pro level. I'll see you in the next video.